Hunched over with the chairs.
Just sit on the floor in front of it.
Right to do a man down rest and get you up. Sandberg playing
Up 1-0.
so fast. Soccer team, of course you know. She's playing so many travel sports. You know, of course she comes out. Probably her being playing soccer. She's one of the top three on the team. Even the financial champagne. So that and just over. I'm sorry, 7 or 6?
Is that the softball?
Yeah, one of our most good friends' daughters at Kansas State.
Who's that? I watched a little bit of the game.
They're advocating for it. It's a championship. They're gonna win two.
Problems usually good vibes.
How long is that? Relax. Like, if I get there at 7.
Oh yeah, it's just come as they are.
Oh,
Just walk down. It's not formal.
Oh,
There's some companies that have some visuals that you work in, and they like this version. Perhaps some of those don't buy.
okay, so it's not like a formal.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
It's really informal.
So it's not by.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
That's how we try to do it. It's just supposed to be fun.
Weight Watchers is easier, 15, but it's a longer period of time. Those caramel rice cakes, the small ones, all just 8 of them are only 1 point. There's not that much, although maybe it's different. I don't know how they figure points. I just take them to looking at how crazy this is. And your swimming laps.
We're swimming. Not as many laps as I should, we're swimming.
You're playing, is what you're doing. That's waiting long enough.
I'm still walking to the hospital, we had there, still doing this all the time.
Doing something right there. You're doing something right
Yeah, but if you go that way,
So, but that'll be good, it'll be the lesson.
See? Then we'll wonder where the other part went. I'm all over that. As I say,
That's not awful, I'm not really.
you're not noticing all that? You're not. See, I do, wait. Minute, I got some more
no, but I extended the invitation to play and no one's picked up yet, so.
to play with what?
Pickleball.
You didn't invite me.
I wasn't invited either. I was the invite.
You were the guest.
I was the guest.
Who asked you to play?
Are we seriously talking about pickleball?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check it.
It's really a craze. No, I watched it.
You know what? Special meeting, pickleball. There you go.
Do you know they have PE units in school? They're doing it? And there's no running, so I might be able to survive. What do we want to do?
Whatever you want, Mr. Clerk.
You guys ready?
I am.
Trustee Guerra?
Here.
Trustee Calandrell?
Here.
Trustee Carroll?
Here.
Public safety approval of minutes?
Gosh, we don't even have representatives here.
Madam Chair,
Trustee
I
Carroll.
move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Public Safety Committee of May 7th, 2018.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned.
Parks and Rec approval of minutes?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Carroll.
move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Parks and Recreation Committee of May 7th, 2018.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
LaGrange Road Irrigation System Startup Shutdown and Maintenance Bid Award.
Mr. Chair, this is the award for the irrigation systems that have been installed in Beacons on the road. The lowest responsive bidder was selected. It happens to be the company that actually did the install for B3, which is really beneficial for us. You'll notice there are some dollar differences between 18 and 19, as part of the system is still covered in 18. So we wanted to have it as an even, it's only not expired, like December or last spring.
Gabe, this is the only bid, right?
Yes, it is.
Do you have any idea why you think that's the case? Okay. And this is definitely something we want to we don't want to do in-house, it's too expensive.
I had staff to do this.
Okay. Any, go ahead, questions from the board. Trustee Guerra.
Gary, I see the fall shutdown is 11,000. Does that mean the open
Opening
was?
typically costs more on systems.
It does. All right, I have
Fall
no
shutdown,
idea.
they're basically hooking a compressor into the systems and blowing air through all of the lines. Springtime, when you start up, you can refine all your damages, all your repairs.
And this includes repairs and everything?
This includes startup and shutdown. I did get priced out amounts for service calls and for repairs.
Okay.
Any questions from the audience? With that, looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Guerra.
as soon as I find it, I move to recommend to the village board to award bid number 18-025, LaGrange Road Irrigation System Startup and Shutdown Maintenance to Central Lawn Sprinklers of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $11,000 for the year 2018, $41,770 for 2019, $43,000 for 2020 and $44,300 for 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Exclusive event management company approval?
Yes.
Go ahead, Nancy.
So after several months and weeks of meeting with different agents, talent agencies, staff has determined that Double D, one of the event management groups, staff is recommending that Double D be the exclusive agent for securing national level touring acts to perform at Centennial Park West in 2019, if budget approved. Double D works very closely with the talent agents. They also have a national outreach. They work with different festivals and work with the city of Chicago. Double D has worked with agencies for booking talent for CBS Entertainment, WXRT, Chicago Bears, and other municipalities. So as you can see before you, a partial list of entertainers that they've worked with include Keith Urban, Taylor Swift, Tony Bennett, Dave Matthews Band.
I'm not making that mistake.
We made sure we included that.
You had him with Tony Bennett.
So anyway, we did. We did, Joe. We had you on our mind there. So services performed by Double D also include talent sourcing and production management, which is unique. So not only will they harness the talent for us, but they will also manage the pre and post, mainly the pre. So they'll handle the booking, they'll handle the hotel, they'll handle the travel expenses, they'll handle on-site day of. So that way, especially if this does come to fruition, staff can really focus on the task at hand, which is going to be working together with parks, making sure the event is secure, ticket sales, alcohol sales, food, working with other vendors. So there's going to be a lot on our plate for an event of this magnitude. So we felt that Double D is going to be the best fit for us just because they're going to be able to offer those on-site hands to help us. So that's it. That's what I have for you.
I just have quick questions. I know there's other, like New Lex vendor, I don't know the name, there's other vendors. Do we speak with them, and why is Double D special versus the other one, or a good fit, I should say?
Yes, we did work with the contact from New Lenox, and he was phenomenal. I mean, he truly was. However, he does not dabble in the on-site prepping and planning for the event. He only searches for the talent. Because we specifically asked him, and he said, acquiring talent is a full-time job. I don't do anything beyond that. And I get it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But I think for our first year moving forward, it's going to be extremely helpful. We're not event managers. We run events, but this national level type of event production, we're going to need to kind of work through our process and also learn from the event company on site on what they do, how they do it. So at least that way we get our feet wet. For maybe the next year, we say, okay, Double D worked out great, but we're ready to handle that back end of house. So maybe then we move to a person who just does the front end.
So is that why, I mean, at the end of the day, it's staff going to be working with Double D, and just as you feel comfortable with that company?
We've worked with Double D. We work with them with all our local acts. And we did interview a couple other agencies, all of which we've had some exposure with. But at the end of the day, I think staff feel comfortable having that on-site representative there, handling the talent and all that goes with it. And they're local, they're from Chicago. So that also helps as well.
And this doesn't lock us in to use any money. It's just, now we know who our person is, and they're going to do the thing, come back to us, and that's when we have to find the money.
Yep.
Is that just...
You don't start getting charged until you literally sign a contract with the band or the
In fact, their fee is based on whatever, it's 15% or whatever we're paying the band. Yeah,
If it's approved.
right.
Great. Questions from committee?
Uh,
Trustee Guerra?
When would you, at what point would they approach you with, okay, this is the talent that's available, want to know what you're interested, these are the costs, where you would have to be in a position to commit?
Definitely by fall. We're gonna, and I think that may work in terms of, we're gonna know where we're gonna be at with this budget, if it's doable. So
Our
by
budget will be
September,
approved.
October, we need to really be ready to make a move. And as we know, with this last go-around, when they come to you with the talent, you have to be ready to say, go, because they don't wait. They
Right.
move on.
other people book them and then you move on to the next available. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that they said we can go all the way as late as, December.
But we're cutting it close, yeah.
Kind of cut it close, so.
There's
Nancy said,
fall.
we want to try and do fall.
And that speaks to the position we were recently in where it was April and May and we're trying to book for June and July. Cutting it too close. I think it's a real learning experience for us, and I think this is the right direction to go. Let somebody teach you, so to speak, as you work with them, and then the following year, maybe you take it over on our own, the staff, but by that time, we'll know what's needed. And, let's brag a little bit. Orland has a tradition of putting on excellent, whatever the program is. Our staff always does a top-notch job, so we don't want to do any less. So I think it's a good idea.
Any other questions from the committee, from the audience? With that, looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Carroll.
I move to recommend the village board to approve contract with Double D Booking for the 2019 Centennial Park West concerts based on budget approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Finance Committee, approval of minutes.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Calendrillo.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Financial Committee of May 7, 2018.
Second.
Any questions, corrections, or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
2017 Annual Treasurer's Report is required by Illinois statute.
Anything you want to add in or no?
No, this is just something that's statutorily required. We do it once a year as part of the audit process.
Any questions from the committee or the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. I've got a little bit of laryngitis, but yes, it's on. Trustee Guerra.
I move to recommend to the village board to acknowledge the filing of the annual treasurer's report.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Insurance brokerage and consulting services approval.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Calendrillo.
I move to recommend the village board approve awarding a 5-year contract to the Horner Group for insurance brokerage, and consulting services related to the village liability, property, and employment benefits insurance programs in the amount not to exceed $87,000 for each of the first 2 years and $84,125 for the remaining 3 years.
Second question.
Yes, Trustee Guerra.
Is this correct? It's $87,000 at the front end and then the price goes down?
It's been going down historically over the last
Yeah,
several years.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It's gone down significantly over the last 5, 6, 7 years as they become more familiar with our programs.
And this was bid?
It was
yes,
an
it was.
RFP.
RFP.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got proposals from 4.
Yep, we
It
have
was
4
narrowed down to-
proposals.
Yeah, it was narrowed down to 2. I joined the working group on interviewing the 2. I think I was impressed by both brokers, to be honest with you. Staff did a phenomenal job putting together a good kind of a program for them to speak to us and us to ask questions, and they were both very impressive. At the end of the day, we've got a good relationship with Horton. They're from the village, and I think we all came away saying there wasn't a valid reason to switch. We had one little concern that we had, was it a purchasing agent or contract analyst that sent that question back out? And we liked their answer.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yep.
About compliance audits and things like that. But yeah, it was, both were very impressive, but I think Horton came out on top slightly.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I just have a quick question. Sure. 5-year contract, that seems kind of long to me. I mean, I don't remember how many times we've approved a 5-year contract.
Yeah, the reason we went with 5 years, there's a few reasons. We do our audit services and our banking services for 5-year contracts, and a lot of that is because it takes the consultant a few years to get to know you, to understand your business. And with banking, it takes a couple years to even implement all the services that the bank offers. So we kind of followed suit with the consultant for insurance. Now they're not new to us, so it doesn't take them time to get to know us. But had we chosen somebody else, we would have gone with the 5 years, because by the time 2-3 years roll by and they finally got it down pat, you're kind of getting ready to go out and through that RFP process again. We can absolutely shorten it. We can do a 3-year with an option to renew or something like that. But 5 years is really kind of standard for these types of financial services.
We'll say also, we discussed that the RFP that went out was for a 5-year proposal, and it could potentially impact the cost if we shortened it. As you saw, as Trustee Guerrero saw, it goes down in the latter years. I think it had been 14 years they've been with us. And-
2006.
Yeah, so, or 12 years. We hadn't done an RFP during that time period. So we did, staff and I discussed that at the end of this process, when we got done interviewing the two brokers, that we would redo it again in 5 years. Not necessarily tying it to the contract, but that we wouldn't go any more than 5 years without another RFP. And as Anne said, it was same length of time that we have for our banking and for our auditors.
Audit services,
Yeah.
right.
So,
And we have a lot of things that are going on, and Stefana can speak to this too, on the health insurance benefits side, and having Horton be very familiar with it and be able to follow us from year to year doing that, making the changes to our benefit plans, rolling out an ERI like we're doing now. I mean, it's really going to help to kind of have that stability in place for a couple years.
And,
good.
and Mike, who was the part of the working group?
It was Emery, it was Stefana, it was, Angela,
Denise,
Denise,
and you.
yeah,
Okay, so
Margot, and myself.
there was no, it was you were the only board trustee member?
Correct.
Yeah.
And in fact, originally when the working group was put out in manager's notes, I wasn't on there. And I talked to Trustee Ruzick, who was the previous finance committee chair. She had sat in on the working group for the banking. And she suggested I contact Mr. Margot, and then we both agreed it would probably be a good idea, so.
And
Yeah.
all the decision was making was in that group. There's no
Yeah,
influence
I mean,
outside.
this was
none.
managed like any other bid or RFP that we get in. We put a group together that's going to analyze it, that did the interviews. We went through that process. We met as a group, discussed who we felt was the best fit. Staff wrote up the agenda item. Trustee Carroll received that a couple days ago, and we went from there. There wasn't really any other kind of external forces or anything that made us make the decision.
Yeah, because I'm a little concerned about some external forces. So I want to make sure this was the best decision for the
Right.
village without any outside
Absolutely.
influences.
I was as well. I could tell you going into this, I was being completely open-minded. I think Gallagher, some could argue, has, which is the other finalist, has a little bit deeper bench when it comes to certain services. Horton came out of there, because Gallagher went first. I was really impressed with them. Then Horton came in. They impressed me equally as well. And we had the one concern about an issue. We submitted to them a question. They came back with a great answer. I think the comment was made, I think, by Angela, and I seconded it, which was, there was really no reason to switch after we got done interviewing both of them, because they both wowed us.
Right.
So that's what we looked at. Then we took the factor that they're a local business that, also.
Yeah, I mean, my own concern is the 5 years. I don't know if there's some way you could do it after 3, maybe a 60-day out period of something. And I mean, we don't know what the village will look like financially in 3 or 4 years.
We'd have to go back to them because we did have the 5 years in the RFP, so that's why they quoted the 5. So we'd have to go back to them and make sure that the fees aren't going to change at all. I can't imagine that they would, and we could maybe do a 3-year with an option to renew or something like
I mean, I'm
that.
just one person. I'm
Yeah,
just
keep
saying-
in mind too, though, the fee we're talking about here is a drop in the bucket compared to what we're paying in benefits. The insurance costs are the big thing. And if the village isn't in a position to afford this fee, we're going to be doing a lot more drastic response, which would lower our insurance costs. The fee is really just a little tip of the iceberg of what
Yeah.
we're dealing with here.
Yeah, this really is just the consulting fee. It doesn't include any of our premium costs,
Right.
anything like that. It doesn't pay for our claims processor. It's truly just the consulting fee.
That's reviewed annually anyways. right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yep, that's brought to the board every year.
I just had a couple concerns, that's all. Thank you.
The last two contracts are each for 5 years as well with them.
We haven't done an RFP in
Yeah,
the 12 years I've been
Well,
here.
that's what I'm saying, well, so we've had them since 2006.
And we've just renewed it each year. We did go out for an RFP, I think it was 3 years ago, but only on the property and liability side, not on the health insurance benefits. And we did end up staying with Horton. We got, I think, 3 or 4 proposals in, and once again, they just kind of rose to the top for a number of reasons.
And I think, in my opinion, there's a personal additional value, added value, having it be one of the companies here in town. And, as we do with any purchasing contract, we give 5%
Right.
leeway, that if it's a local
2%.
company, so we,
Yeah, and we didn't even need to do that. They
Oh,
were the
lower
lowest
cost,
without
too.
that.
They were the lower cost of the two.
yeah,
And
they
then-
were still lowest.
And they
Yeah.
brought up that they built a 90,000 square foot building at $12.5 million investment to the village.
Yeah,
I
we
mean, they
like
were already
that.
the lower cost, and we had good service with them, but that kind of tipped it in.
Yeah, that would work it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any comments from the audience? Questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Folks, we'll be back at 7.
That was the fastest.
That was fast. You know why? No PowerPoints.
There's a 7 o'clock, so this was the committees, there's 3 committees, and
Right.
there's a 7 o'clock
Whatever,
meeting
they
for the
approved
full
it for
board.
5 years.
I'll walk you, man.
That's fine. I'll get in touch with him tomorrow. Yeah.